It will give you eyes, give you hope, it'll give you perspective. Oh, there are stories to tell, the times we grew and the times we fell. Oh, I've been afraid some days, but the road will lead us to a better place. Road will lead us to a better place.
My Valley Home with Rachel MacLean is made possible through the generous support of our sponsors, including Deacon Financial Management Group of Scotia Wealth Management.
In this episode, we celebrate harvest season in the Valley. We'll see what's happening at Willowbank Farm, visit Planters Ridge for some winemaking, learn how to make a pumpkin person in Kentville, and get our pants scared off at the Phantoms Freak Show.
Well, I guess fall in the Annapolis Valley wouldn't be complete without a trip to Willowbank Farm, which I have been coming to for years. Hello, Andrew.
Oh, nice to see you again.
Nice to see you too. Thanks for taking some time out to just have a little chat and talk about all things history and all these wonderful things that we can, the activities and the history of Willowbank Farm and lots of other stuff.
My father and grandfather, started Willowbank Farm way back in the late 50s, early 60s. We're fourth generation here at the farm today. As you've been strolling around the farm, you've been seeing my nieces and nephews all working. My son's here today. We have a great time with the family. My sisters are very involved in the farm, of course, with the horses, and then they do help out big time with the U-pick as well. So, we can have as many as 14 family members working here, and it's something that we really, really love to open to the public in the fall and have them come down, pick apples, and enjoy all the activities here on the farm.
There we go. Can we get another one?
And the other thing that people come to Willowbank Farm and the area is to see the world's highest tides. And we see people just standing there in awe when they see the tidal bore come by or see the tide full this time. And maybe, last year when they were here, it was low. And it's really cool. And I think that we need to embrace the interesting things that the Annapolis Valley have.
One of the big things that people notice when they drive through are the equestrian stables.
Yes.
So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Horses have been a huge part of the Johnson family. When grandfather and his father had the dairy in Halifax, it was all horse and carriage. That's how we got milk back then. And then that progressed into showing horses, riding horses, jumping horses. And as you can see over the years, it's been competitive all across Eastern North America. And it's to this day, my sisters still show horses, do training here, and a horse is just such an amazing animal to be near and to be around, and it's something that I'm pleased that my family continues to this day.
So Andrew, this is a working farm. So what are some of the things that go on here?
We're here 12 months of the year, 365 days a year working the farm because, the apple orchard doesn't just happen. So it's work in the fall and the winter when we have to prune, and then we have to maintain the orchard all summer long. We have a few beef cattle and some pigs that we raise as well. And lots going on all the time, but open to the public in September and October for lots of great fun activities. So Rachel, I know you have lots of places to visit, but Mom made us a grab-and-seen apple pie, so...
I'm not going to say no to this.
Oh, no.
She's amazing.
Enjoy.
Thank you. Your mom's amazing.
Oh, she's great.
I think I want your mom to come to my house. So we are here on this absolutely gorgeous day at Planters Ridge Winery in Port Williams, and thank you so much, Wendy, for coming. Yeah, well, thanks for having us because I want to know everything there is to know about this. It's absolutely beautiful here.
Yeah, absolutely. October is my absolute favorite time to be at wineries in Nova Scotia. There's so much activity happening. I mean, we've got pickers just a couple rows over. We've got a crew of people processing over at the winery. There's tractors around. You know, guests are out enjoying the sunshine. So lots of fun things to do. But we have a very strong philosophy that good wine starts in the vineyard. A lot of people kind of glamorize what it's like to work at a winery, but we're farmers before we're anything. No grapes, no wine. Where we're so small, all of our grapes are hand harvested, and we really feel like that gives us a little bit of an edge in terms of quality, because this is where our first step of quality control happens. So here we have some very ripe Castell grapes, pretty much ready for picking. So they're really ripe and juicy, which is great for wine quality, but they are also very enticing to starlings right now. Yeah, and that is our biggest threat right now. One flock of starlings can eat an acre of grapes in a matter of hours, so yeah. 99.9% of all the grapes in the world that are used to make wine come from one species of grapevine, and that species is Vitis vinifera, often called vinifera for short. And these are all the varieties that you've heard of before: Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, Riesling, Cabernet Sauvignon. Then in Nova Scotia, you start hearing all these weird grape names: Lucy Coolman, Marquette, Lacadie Blanc. So these varieties are all called French-American hybrids. So one of their parents is this Vitis vinifera species of vine, and the other parent is a vine species that's native to North America. And these species are bred specifically to get riper in a shorter growing season. Tidal Bay, if you've never had it. Most people have had it or heard about it, but don't quite know what it is. So technically, it's an appellation, which is a very European concept for wine. The most famous appellation in the world you've all heard of, it's Champagne. So that just means in order to get this name on your label, there's a bunch of rules and requirements that you have to follow. Tidal Bay is actually the only appellation in all of North America. And it was created in 2012 by the Winery Association of Nova Scotia. Its purpose was to kind of put Nova Scotia on the map as being recognized as a wine region, and it's also meant to showcase the type of wines that we're best known for producing, which are these crisp, bright, aromatic whites that pair really well with local seafood.
Well, this is a great way to end things, right?
Absolutely.
Thank you for taking us out and just showing us everything. That was it really was amazing. Yeah. Lots of stuff I did not know.
Good. Well, thank you so much for coming.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Every year for the month of October, pumpkin people crop up in the town of Kentville. They make their homes all over town, on lawns, in trees, on buildings, and they bring a bunch of friends with them. So depending on the theme, you may also see animals or nautical theme or Disney movie characters. They bring somebody exciting with them each different year, and we're very happy to welcome them at the beginning of October. There's a mixture of excitement and confusion a lot of times. If there's somebody from outside the area who isn't expecting them or it wasn't aware, that can be kind of exciting but also confusing. Most people really, really love them. We get a lot of great feedback from the community and especially from our visiting population, who are delighted most of the time to see these characters. We get folks that travel over from the UK every year just for this, wow, which seems crazy to me, but also it's very cool that people think that this is so neat, and because it grew from really humble beginnings into what it is now, we're really, really proud of it, and we love doing it because it does bring people so much happiness. The Harvest Festival is the kickoff to the pumpkin people every year, so we do that the first Saturday of the month of October. Center Square is hopping with bands and food and performances and pumpkin carving, and you can grab supplies from us to make your own pumpkin people. There are community suppers and concerts and all kinds of different workshops, fall wreath making, anything you can think of, it's happening in Kentville in October, and we love it. Local authors and illustrators, Ron and Sandra Lightburn, put a pumpkin person book together. It's a lovely story. People love it. We give away a free copy to every grade 3 student in Kentville every year. It's a really fun way to get kids involved in understanding the pumpkin people and the magic of the pumpkin people. We partner with some local community groups who do all of the carving, but it's essentially 300 carved jack-o'-lanterns all lit up, lining the pathways of Miners Marsh, which is probably our most visited recreation space in the town right now, very popular. It's full of people, it's exciting, the carving is amazing, there's some really cool things to see in there, and it's magical to be in the dark and under the stars as you're kind of participating with 6,000 of your closest friends in this community-run event. It's a great example of a grassroots event that kind of just cropped up on its own that the town is really, really happy to support and facilitate. Everybody's welcome to participate. We give out free supplies every year to folks who want to make them, and that's where we are today at our workshop. And I have extra supplies if you want. I can teach you how to make one.
I'm not going to say no.
Anybody can do it.
You want to lead the way?
Let's go.
Okay, good.
Okay, so the first thing you need if you're building a pumpkin person is corn stalks. We're going to tape a couple of sections together, and then we're going to construct the body out of the corn stalks. Okay. So you need 3 and I need 3, and we need to tape them together to make arms and legs. And it's good if you kind of stagger them, so like 1 going one way and 2 going the other way. Just it adds to a little bit of stability. And we like to use the clear packing tape. It's the easiest to work with and it's the most efficient. And you just grab it together and just tape it into, yep, start in the middle, and then you can branch out from there. The only way to cut the tape is with your teeth.
I'm good. That's good.
That's the official pumpkin person process. And the great thing about corn stalks is that they hold up in the weather. You don't have to worry about them getting wet or breaking down, so that's why we use them in addition to the aesthetic they provide. All right, so we have 2 of these. Eventually we're gonna have 3 of them.
Okay.
And then we put them together to make our body. 2 of the pieces get taped together the long way at the middle, so we've got that one split into 2 for the legs, and then we put this cross piece on, and these are going to be the arms. So the next thing that we need to do is dress our pumpkin person, and usually we just source some old clothes. It's great to use pants and long sleeves because we're going to stuff it. So we've picked out this outfit for today, very fallish. And we're going to stuff this person with some straw, which you have beside you there. This is the most fun part of stuffing. So once you get your legs in there, you kind of have them just laid out.
Yes.
Just shove until it's full, and you can go from the top down and then from the top up.
Okay.
On the straw is also multi-purpose. Again, it holds up outside. It can get wet, and it's okay. The only thing that never lasts as long is the clothing itself. If we have a wet October, they can get a little soggy.
Soggy?
Yeah. Okay, and you can make these as full as you want or as skimpy as you want. It's really just about the clothing that you've selected and making sure that it's going to hold up. So the last piece that we would do when we're building them for the town is we would get some hog ties and we would attach the sweater to the pants. You can get creative at home if you're doing it. Obviously, you probably don't have a bunch of hog ties laying around. You can use staples, you can use zip ties, anything that kind of pulls the sweater and the pants together. Sure. And then if you want, we can stand this person up. The pants might fall down. And then you can start shaping your body however you want it to look. So if you want the pumpkin person to be waving, you can make a little elbow. If you want their hands in their pockets, they can do that sometimes. They're limited to what they can do, but you can get creative with it. So the final piece is the head. And our pumpkin person stylist, Jerry, paints all of the heads for us, and he has a process that he uses so they all kind of look similar with different expressions. But Jerry made us a special head because he knew you were coming today. And it's right over there if you'd like to bring it over. It's Rachel head.
I'm impressed.
So normally what we would do before we put the head on is we cut a little hole out of the bottom, you pull that little plug out, and then it can be kind of violent if you see Jerry doing it because you gotta jam it down on there, but it stays there. And if you don't have a warm October, your head should last the whole month.
Here we go. Nice.
Well, you know, like I said, anyone can do it. You just need a little, the right stuff and a little dedication.
Everyone knows at this time of year, this is when the Phantom comes to town in Kentville. And what a wonderful thing to do to end our day, but to come to Phantom Effects, where it all sort of happens, and meet Jamie and Aaron, and we could just talk a little bit about what goes on, how this started, and what's happening.
Yeah, absolutely. Phantom Effects got started in 1997. I ended up going to a makeup effects school back then. And it was one of the things I wanted to do. Prior to that, I'd put on a little bit of a thing in in English class that had blood going everywhere, and I scared the teacher and things like this. And she you know, pulls our group aside at the end of the whole day there and says, "You guys got an A+. I don't know how you pulled this off," but it was just some illusional stuff with the play Macbeth. She gave us 12 hours to kind of put this little play together. And then following graduating high school and things like that, I ended up going to Toronto to a place called Illusions Unlimited. So basically Phantom Effects started back in 1997. This is my 20th haunted house that I've done. It ended up becoming the Freak Show the second year. Mm-hmm. It was the first year I called it the Living Darkness, which I thought was kind of cool at the time, but now I'm like, no, I'm glad I called it the Freak Show because it can pretty much encapsulate anything that we do.
So this is not just a fun activity, but there's fundraising involved. Can you kind of explain a little bit about that?
We donate to the youth mental health initiatives here in Nova Scotia through the IWK Foundation. So over the years, we've donated tens of thousands of dollars to youth mental health, which is in dire need of help right now and has been for several years. So it really, honestly, it feels good because we see it a lot, because we deal with a lot of youth ourselves with the haunted house that are volunteers, and we know that everybody needs to have these resources and they need to have this support. So it's very important for us to be a part of that community to raise funds to give back to them. As the haunted house ends, we roll into Victorian Christmas bonanza, I guess you can call it. Yeah, we go from horror to like Merry Christmas, everyone.
That's right. Yeah.
So
this was the weirdest transition, and it's weird for me as well a little bit.
Yeah, very weird for him, especially because he plays a major role in both of those performances. So we go from scaring people senseless in October to giving them some of the most precious memories you could ever see in December. So it's quite a transition.
Now with the murals, now I mean I know a little bit about this, but can you sort of explain how
Jamie's
that
forte,
really kind of got going, the momentum behind that?
Every single mural that I've done to this point has been like upwards to 20 plus people helping me. So I create a vision, and most of the murals that I work with in the community really have a story to tell about the community and about our history as well. But I wouldn't be able to do what I do if it wasn't for other people being part of our family and other people having an invested interest in what we're trying to say.
Well, I know you two have to get ready because exciting things are happening tonight. So we're going to actually head outside and maybe talk to some people. But thank you so much. This was just so much fun. You guys rock.
Thank
And
you for
we're
coming
so-
out and doing this
It was a pleasure.
and broadening the scope of what we kind of do in the background here.
Well,
for-
nice to
yeah.
chat with you.
From what I've heard, like, some people pee their pants.
I've heard that it's supposed to make people pee their pants and like scream and stuff like that, so.
I think it'll be pretty spooky, honestly. These guys are looking a little creepy.
It's so much fun. Like, I get so scared, but then at the end of it, I'm just like, that was so great. Like, it's so much fun.
My friends are international students, so I never would have done this just on my own, but I figured I'd come share the experience with them.
It's just a great experience and wonderful for the town. The number of people they bring in, support local business, and the good work they do for the IWK is just fantastic.
The makeup's really, really good and very gruesome, and just the whole thing, they put so much effort into it. It's fantastic.
1, 2, 3, free show, free show, free show!
I don't mess with horror movies, but you know, this could be an experience. I feel like nothing bad's gonna happen though.
Come to get your fortune told.
It was so good. It was really scary. Really scary. I mean, fun, but scary. Yeah.
Some of them knew my name.
Thanks for coming by. Hope to see you soon.
What a great night that was. A little scary, a lot of fun. Jamie and Aaron were just fantastic, and the people that they have working with them, just wonderfully talented people. This was a really good day, a really fun day in Kentville, and this whole season has just been so much fun for me to rediscover places that I haven't been in a really long time, and to also discover new spots that I had never heard of. Wonderful things that are going on, and we just scratched the surface, and that's what makes my Valley home so special.